Hello, welcome back. My name is Megan with Rose Moon Healing. Trying a new visual today. Instead of being in front of the camera, I am trying it this way to kind of preserve my energy on those days where I've already had a lot of output, whether I've been in sessions with clients or already recorded a couple of videos. This way I can still update and give a little reading, but without extra energy on my end. And I did try to record this earlier, actually, which is why the cards are already pulled. Normally I would just do a live pull with you guys, but I tried to record it earlier on my phone, got disturbed, it didn't work out so well. So here we are, trying it a new way. And you guys can let me know how you like this format and if this works for you as well. I am new to YouTube. I am trying to grow this channel organically, trying to build community and finding like-minded people to connect with on this twin flame journey, on this spiritual journey and beyond. So if you could please like this video, that really helps it get seen and to kind of circulate around on YouTube. And then if you're enjoying my videos and you like the content I'm providing, please please subscribe. That way you can see whenever I have a new video. And we can be friends. I'd love to hear how these videos resonate with you if you are watching them. So leaving a comment is always so appreciated as well. Great. Well, first I wanted to start with a little bit of a downloaded message that I got from the Akashic records when I was just opening them, as I do in the morning when I meditate. One thing that was really coming through, which is it's kind of an interesting one, but the feminine leads. The feminine goes first. The feminine is really guiding these unions, guiding this partnership. You are leading, feminines. And what I mean by that is every piece of work that you do in this separation, even if you're in union, when you are back in union, every single thing that you do on your spiritual path and your journey is having an effect on your twin. So we are at this precipice. Every single read I do, all the cards are coming up and confirming, yes, union is here. Yes, it is yours. Yes, it's happening. It's all happening. The decision has been made for both counterparts on both ends. The decision has been made. We are just waiting for the 3D to catch up. As I shared in a previous video, sometimes when something has been manifested in the 5D, when things have been manifested in the 5D, it just takes a little bit of time for the 3D to catch up because it's a physical, dense reality. Or it's not necessarily reality, but another dimension of physical density. So it does take a little bit longer. So anyways, the reads have felt a little repetitive, right? Because it's like, yes, it's here, but where are they? They haven't shown up yet. So in this interim where we're in this knowing, it's really important, obviously, to trust and to surrender. But it's also really important as the leader of this union to be guiding it, to be directing it, and you do this by your absolute faith and trust in this connection, in this union. You do it by, taking care of your physical body, your physical vessel, preparing your physical space, visualizing, manifesting, living as if it's already here. So what forms of preparation do you need to do to get ready as if it was already here? What would be the thing that you need to be doing? These are all acts of leadership in these connections, and it's really important that we are focusing on preparing our vessels, preparing our space, preparing for this union because it wants to come through. And I'll talk more about this in later videos, but the real message is that the feminine leads, the feminine goes first. So even in our inner unions within, once we go through the feminine initiation, once we open ourselves up to our emotional worlds, to synchronicities, to spirit, which are all very connected to the feminine, then the masculine can come online, but only once we're really aligned in our own divine feminine within. And this happens for both counterparts. So that's what I mean when I say that the feminine goes first and that the feminine leads. because the feminine leads within. The feminine is that connection to spirit. It's that trust. It's that surrender. And once we have that, the next steps, the action steps, or the physical world steps, which would be represented as the masculine, just kind of align. And then we know we're aligned. We know that the next right step we're taking is correct for us because we have that feminine foundation, that base within us. And it's the same thing with these connections, where once you are coming from that place, then union is possible within yourself. And it's the same within the partnership, right? So once the feminine counterpart is aligned, you're guiding the masculine home. Once you awaken, they have no choice but to awaken as well. And I'm sure you've heard that before from other people, but I know I've heard other readers say that, but just being really, really aware of the thoughts you're thinking, the choices you're making in your physical world, in your emotional world, in your mental world. These are all having a deep, deep effect on the timeline of when these partnerships actually come through into the physical. So be the leader. Be the leader, Divine Feminine. So the way that I did this reading is I actually pulled some oracle cards from this Cosmic Dancer deck. Really, really beautiful. So I pulled a couple of those. It's a brand new deck to me, so I haven't really worked much with the book and the direct meaning or the meaning that the book is giving. So I just went with my intuition, and then I pulled some tarot from Mystic Monday's tarot as clarifiers. So we're going to start with this Fine Tune, number 33. And with this for the masculine, I'm feeling that they are in this process of really embracing what has stayed through this process that they've been going through, these tower energies, these breakdowns, these breakthroughs, the dark nights of the soul. They've been purging and letting go of so much stagnant energy, people, places, things, anything that was not in alignment anymore. It had to go because Spirit came in and Spirit said, okay, it's time to let this stuff go for once and for all. And so they've been in this process of integrating all of these lessons, and a lot of it has been really painful and really uncomfortable. And now they've stepped into this energy of looking around to see what's left, what is actually still here, what still remains. And they see that you, Divine Feminine, still remain. This connection, it hasn't faded, it hasn't shifted. It's just as strong as it was when it began. Nothing has changed there for them, and that is part of this wisdom that's been downloaded to them. This is part of this inner truth, which has allowed them to make the decision that this union is for them, which has allowed them to already make that decision, and now they're just working up the courage and the guts to kind of move it forward in the physical world. But with this energy of this fine tuning, it's really about them looking around what has stayed, what has remained, and embracing it, cultivating it, appreciating it, growing it, really, really nurturing and taking stock of what is true, what is actually in energetic alignment for them. Because whatever has remained in their life throughout this process is in a vibrational resonance for them. And now they're just fine-tuning. I hear that they're preparing their space, their physical space. They're preparing their heart space, their internal space. They're preparing for this next adventure, this next part of the journey, which is going to bring about a lot of change. And the clarifying tarot cards that came out, we had a couple different twos. So we have the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands. And I feel with this, it's about them letting go of the indecision, being in the in-between in the intellect and in the mind, not quite being sure of what the truth is, which direction do I go, what's right for me, what's up, what's down. So clarifying that, fine-tuning that, getting really, really clear. They're letting this indecision go. And I know for a lot of the Divine Masculines, indecision was a huge hurdle. It was a huge problem in these connections of not knowing if they could trust their thoughts, not knowing if they could trust their feelings, not knowing if they could trust their passions with the Two of Wands. And now we've they've stepped into this place of letting go of the indecision and not knowing which way to go in their projects, in their new beginnings, in directionally, just physical direction. Which way am I going? They know now. They're clear because we have this temperance. So spirit entered the picture. These higher spiritual awareness, a higher spiritual calling, a knowing, a trust, balance, harmony within. Again, back to this fine tuning. They're coming to this place of balance and harmony. They've let go of this indecision. They've let go of this not knowing, pretending to not know. They know. They know now. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is about building something, a legacy, creating mastery in the physical world. And they have been working on this. This has been a huge part of their journey and their lesson in this separation from their counterpart, is mastery in the physical world. And now that they have let go of these fears and these indecisions and these old stories, they're ready to actually move forward. And the biggest shift for them is recognizing that the potential is there to be in the know, to be a master of their world, to master their environment, to master their inner environment, their inner world, their heart space, their mind. They are a master of their thoughts. So mastery is the big word that's coming through with that card. And it's been this fine-tuning process to let go of the indecision and to move into inner and outer mastery. The next oracle card we got is this beautiful card, Sparkle and Shine. I love the moon cycle on her or his crown. Number 26. And with this, the message that came through was that the masculines are stepping into their power. They are not dimming their light anymore. They are not afraid to be their true selves. They have gained this wisdom, this divine knowledge. A lot of downloads came through on that full moon in Leo recently. A lot has been brought into their awareness of who they really are, where they're going, what they're meant, who they're meant to be. And they're finally stepping into that and fearlessly and courageously showing the world who they are. They know they have a mission. They know they have a deeper purpose, and they've gotten clarity around that. They're not pretending that they don't know anymore because they've let go of these indecisions. They've let go of the not knowing. They're stepping into this, and they're allowing themselves to be witnessed and seen, stepping into that divine masculine energy. And then the beautiful clarifiers that we got. It's the King of Cups. A master of their emotions, a master of balance and harmony. They've really been able to step into their inner power through their knowing, through their spiritual connection to source. And this is how they've always been meant to meet you, Divine Feminine. This is the vessel with which they come into union when they are in this balanced King of Cups energy. And they are here. And because they're here, we have this Ace of Cups, the new beginning. It's here. I don't know how many more readings I'm going to say. It's here. Until it starts really showing up in the physical. And it does take time. That does take time. It's a process. So this finally allowing themselves to step into their greatness and their power and to sparkle and shine is allowing them to have this new beginning. Because before, they were just seeing you shine. They were seeing your sparkle, and it didn't resonate with them. You know, when we see somebody really empowered and really in their worth and really just vibrant, and if we have a gap between our own power and how we're actually showing up, it's really going to trigger us. It can really trigger us. So when the Divine Masculine met the Divine Feminine and saw her in this power, it was a bit otherworldly to him. He couldn't wrap his logical brain around it. He couldn't understand it. He loved it and he was attracted to it. There was a magnetizing energy for him. But the fear of it and the triggering of it is what caused him to run, because he wasn't fully embodied. He wasn't fully in his power yet. He wasn't letting himself be seen. He wasn't letting himself be known by the world. And so it's what really stopped this from happening for the two of you. It's what really stopped this harmony from occurring. You may have had a beginning, you may have started a relationship, but there was always some energy that wasn't quite harmonizing or linking or working. And that was why. It was because they were not in direct relationship with their divinity and their power, and you were, and that upset them. It, for lack of a better way of explaining it, it triggered them for sure, and they had to go into their cave and go do their work so that they could finally come to this place within themselves. And this, like I said, this is the divine masculine that comes into union. It's when he's in this energy of this King of Cups, because this is full circle. This is kind of like the epitome of the masculine energy. It's strength, it's power, it's protective, it's loving, it's family oriented, it's all those aspects of the divine masculine, or the Emperor energy, the King of Pentacles energy, but it's really being in union, in inner harmony. The feminine and the masculine energies being balanced within, so that it can be shared, and from a place of truth and knowing and spirituality. So yeah, the divine masculine is shining now. The divine masculine is now in his power. He's now in his strength, and he's now walking the path of what he was always meant to walk, because of you, because of what your connection triggered. And then this card we have is called Improvise, and I believe it's 13. And so this one it's got a lot of beauty and light grid, like a light activation happening here. And I feel that this really speaks to the activations that have occurred for both counterparts, but for the masculine, this has been a game changer. This has been huge within them, to come into this expansion, to be able to hold more light within their body than they ever have before, to hold more love. And this Improvise energy, what I'm getting from this is that it's really about them being okay with not having the plan, not having the structure, not having the data collected. The masculine tends to get really caught up in the head and what's going on in the physical, and how do I get from point A to point B, and here's my plan, here's the logic, here's all these things. They can really get caught up in that. But this energy being present for them is around them trusting within themselves, their own power that's come in, their own mastery, their spiritual connection, and their ability to kind of fine-tune and be a master of their world, inner and outer. And so now they can just surrender. They can just sit back and trust, because they know they're on the path. They know they have a greater mission. And so they can improvise. They can step into this sort of dance with the divine. They can step into a dance with you, divine feminine. They can trust that it's going to be okay. They don't have to have it all figured out. They don't have to know exactly where the two of you will be in 2 years. They don't have to know exactly when this all will unfold, all the dreams and things that you both want, and your mission, work, and everything that you want to be doing. They don't have to know. They don't have to have this clear-cut plan like they did before, because they're allowing themselves to surrender and to be in a state of improvisation. Dancers are very, I was a dancer most of my life. So you're not really able to improvise or freestyle in a way that actually feels good until you've come to a state of mastery, some form of state of mastering the craft. So once you kind of gain that confidence and that technique, then you can kind of color outside of the lines. And then you can improvise. Then you can really allow the music to move through you and to feel and just create a creative work of art. That's when it becomes art instead of a practice or instead of an activity or a physical athletic type of exercise. And again, it comes through mastery, which is the process that the masculine has been in, and they're there. And now they have this deeper awareness than they've ever had before that's allowing them to really surrender and trust. And then the clarifiers we got from this, we got the Four of Wands. So they know this is their path. They know that they've worked so hard to build this foundation, this really solid foundation structure. It's safe. There's safety here. This is something they can rely on. And because of that, they can go off the page. They can improvise. They can do it a different way. It doesn't have to look the way they've been told it has to look, because they know. There's a knowing. They're not pretending to not know anymore. They're knowing. They're out of indecision. They've left that behind. They've stepped into mastery of their physical and internal worlds. And now they're moving towards this union in the physical and inside. This, a lot of readers like to call it the Twin Flame card, and I can see why. We have this 1111. But really it speaks a lot to foundations. It speaks a lot to safety and creating this firm base. And then we have the Star. So there's been so much healing that has occurred, and it's what I'm hearing is wish fulfillment. It's not the Nine of Cups here, but with this in particular, the spread and the cards that came out with it, it's you, Divine Feminine, are their wish. We have this Queen of Wands, and this is this passion, excitement, creativity, adventure. Oh, yeah. Passion, ... This fire that they feel for you, and all this healing that you've inspired. And because of all this work that they've put in, they've come into this mastery, they've come into their power. It's a wish fulfilled. They've been wishing upon the Star. They've been wishing upon you. And they're trusting and they're surrendering, because we have the Wheel of Fortune. Trusting and surrendering in this union, in this partnership, in the divine timing, dancing off with the spirit, dancing off the page. I keep hearing that, dancing off the page, or coloring outside of the lines, or moving off the page here, because there was this part of the masculine that was very regimented. It was very okay, we do this, okay, we do this next, okay, A plus B, okay, B equals C, okay, it was just this very kind of structured way of moving, and they were very rigid in how they saw things unfolding. And because you, Divine Feminine, did not live that way, it was really hard for them to place you in their lives. It was really hard for them to figure it out, because they hadn't had these awakenings that they needed to have in order to actually be your counterpart. And now they've gone through that, which is allowing this new beginning, which is allowing them to step into the King of Cups, which is bringing them this deep, deep healing and letting go of all that has come before, so that you guys can step into this union in this divine timing, and really trusting that everything that comes, this is another message from this card right here, trusting that everything that comes to him is meant for him, and you came to him, and he can trust that now, that you were meant for him, and whatever falls away, whatever the Wheel of Fortune takes away from him, is meant to leave. And that was a really, really hard one to learn for any of us, because we all have to learn that on our spiritual path. It's a really challenging one to learn, but that is what has been processed. That is what has been embodied for the masculine. They are very, very clear, very, very aware now that it's all been working out for them, not to them. It's all been happening for their greater alignment. So that was just a little masculine check-in, and I think we're gonna go just grab a couple oracle cards, and if we need to clarify them with tarot, we will. But I'm just gonna grab a couple for the union. I think I wanted to keep it just divine masculine. I wasn't gonna do a divine feminine check-in, but oh my god, you guys. Sorry, this is just too funny. Okay, so we have a couple cards here that are really fun. And I'm going to show you the order they came out. So we have Patience. Patience, our favorite. Sorry, there's quite a glare. My light went out, but Patience. And then we have Caring Connections. Oh my goodness. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. And then we have Happy Family. I feel like these are pretty self-explanatory, but I think it might be kind of fun to grab some clarifying cards from the tarot, so we're going to do that. But with this Patience, gosh, how many times have we gotten this? You know, and Temperance did come up in one of the clarifiers earlier, so Spirit, what can you tell us about this patient card? It is number 16. Pentacles. That's a slow energy. Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, it's what we thought we would hear. The Queen of Pentacles came up. So I think this has been a big transition, I will say, in the cards that I've been pulling to represent the Divine Feminine from the Divine Masculine's perspective. And there was a period there where it was all Queen of Swords. And I was seeing that with other readers as well. They were very kind of afraid, scared of the Divine Feminine. She was very intimidating. She felt kind of closed, kind of shut down. And lately I've been getting, you know, we did get the Queen of Wands earlier in this spread, but lately I've been getting the Queen of Pentacles a lot, and I feel what this is telling us is that they're viewing you as someone to be with in the physical world with the Pentacles. Before, you were like untouchable, you know, it was hard for them to wrap their brains around. You know, they saw you as this high priestess, they saw you as the Empress, but they didn't think they could have you. They didn't think they deserved you because they hadn't come into their own sort of power and light yet. And now they're really seeing this as something to build. But because it's a Pentacles and because we have this Patience card, they're taking their time. They don't want to fuck it up with you. And they have a lot of fear and grief around feeling like they did. Feeling like they already, you know, they've been having to work through a lot of fears and anxieties around like the thought that perhaps they lost their chance. Perhaps that was their only chance and they missed it. So there's been a lot of fear around that the masculines have been working through. And they're releasing that now because they're seeing that it's just you that they want to build with. You are their wish fulfillment. We have the Nine of Cups here. You are what they want. It's very, very clear. And they're working to build. They're working to get themselves ready. They're preparing, just like in the fine-tuning oracle card we had. They're fine-tuning. They're preparing their mind, their heart, their body, their home, their spirit. They're preparing. They're working towards this mastery. They're working towards it. It's coming. But patience is required on both ends, actually, because this is union energy. So they have an impatience within them, too. They want it now. They don't want to wait. You are their wish. They want it now. But we're both counterparts are being asked to kind of wait. All right, so that's really beautiful. Let's just clean up this table a little bit. It gets kind of crowded. Okay, so let's move into this Caring Connections. This is number 14. Oh, my light keeps going off. I gotta charge it up. So sorry about that, guys. I will try and turn it on to show you the card. Okay. That's what we're going to take. That's beautiful. Yep. Okay. So the first card, another Pentacles that came out. Knight of Pentacles. We're going to get better at these, I promise. Knight of Pentacles. So building, night, it is a night. So there is forward momentum. There is moving towards this caring connection, this heart-centered, loving, soulmate, twin flame connection. This card really speaks to kind of the soulmates and two people being really harmonious together in their desires, what they want, what they're creating together, very, very aware of those things. And we're building slowly in this material world, but we are moving because it is a night. It's the slowest moving night, but we are moving. And guess what? We also have the Knight of Cups. In this deck, it's the Knight of Emotions. There we go. You can see it a little better. And this is this beautiful energy of offering one's heart, offering one's affection, offering one's trust and faith, and just, it's all those romantic gestures. It's the poetry. It's the poet of the deck. And just this tells me that both counterparts are really ready to bear their heart, to bear their soul. The swords energy, the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords we were getting for a while, all that kind of like, having blocks and guards around our heart and not wanting to share and not wanting to be, really vulnerable with one another, it has faded. We are in this caring connection, heart space. It's time. And you can I'm guaranteeing you that this energy is moving into your connections in the 3D. It's coming. We have Knight of Pentacles. It's coming. It may be slower than you want because we are getting patience, but it's coming because the cycle has completed. We have the World. The cycle has completed. This lesson that you both were learning, that you both were contracted to learn on this journey, through the separation, through the pain, through all of this hardship, it's complete. And now you can step into this caring connection, and then we move into this happy family. For many of you, I know that is a goal. I know that's something that you're wanting to build with your counterpart. And I love seeing the rainbow. The rainbow for me is such a sign for my guides. I see rainbows in the weirdest, most unexplainable places. And I actually saw a rainbow earlier today on my carpet, and there was no reason for it. I could not trace it. I could not trace where it was coming from, but there it is. And there's just this beautiful, it's like a cloudy kind of day, but there's that rainbow coming through the clouds, the storms, the darkness, the difficulty. It's moved behind us. I don't really think we need any clarifiers on that, and I think that that's a beautiful, beautiful place to end. So counterparts, what I would say is just trust in your connection, keep the faith. As the earlier message I gave, the feminine goes first. So take care of yourself, divine feminines. Everything that you do is going to help your connection. Every single thing that you're doing for yourself is also going to help your counterpart. So take a bath, take a salt bath, nourish yourself, nourish your body. Drink lots of water, eat healthy foods, anything you can do to nourish your vessel and prepare for this union. I highly suggest it. I just saw 3:33 on the clock, so that's a beautiful place to end as well. Lots of signs from Spirit and messages. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will be back soon. Bye.